Alright boys, it's that time of the month where we go over the upcoming events to NAFGO and talk about what's going to be coming for the month of December, and it's going to be a little wacky, okay? Don't just like look at this down here and be like, it's just going to be the Christmas lotto. No, we've already got a lot of news about what's coming for the month of December, and then I have a little bit of speculation I want to throw at you guys at the end in regards to this Christmas event down here. Some of you guys have heard me talk about it before in some other videos and on some live streams. I think it has a little bit of merit, but I don't want to like, you know, be like confirmed the guy is actually going to be coming, right? I don't want to like clickbait too hard, but you know, I want to talk about it towards the end of this video because I do think it's semi-likely to happen. So we'll kind of talk about it towards the end. And as you guys may notice, I am back with my normal setup and everything. It feels really good to be back from vacation. It was very refreshing, but you know, now it's back to the grind. Speaking of the grind, if you guys enjoy daily FGO content, make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that sweet daily FGO content. Also, if you want to see me play FGO live, I do that every weekday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time now that I'm, you know, back from my vacation. However, this video is once again sponsored by Bai, and if you don't know what Bai is, it is essentially Japanese eBay. And the thing that I love about them whenever they go ahead and sponsor the channel is that whoever signs up using my link down in the description down below goes ahead and gets 2,000 free yen put into their account. And then I just love just being like, look at all the cool stuff you could get just with only 2,000 yen. I mean, look at this. You could basically get this Artoria figure for almost free because it's currently at 2,700 yen. This is super based. I love it when Bai sponsors the channel because it gives me and people that want to go ahead and get exclusive stuff that never really comes over to the West a chance to actually get that stuff. I mean, not only for like Fate stuff, but there's also been like a lot of like Dokkan figures that have never come to the West. There's a lot of like Kamen Rider stuff that I will never see in a store over here in the West. And it just gives me as a Westerner the opportunity to actually get some of this stuff. Plus, if you sign up using my link again, you get 2,000 free yen directly put into your account. So what are you doing? Sign up with Bai today. It is absolutely free and you get a little bit of something doing that. And they're a longtime supporter of the channel. So, you know, just love it when they come back around and they help the boy out. But with all that being said, let's get back into our regularly scheduled programming. So let's go ahead and start talking about some of the events that are going to be coming to the NA version of the game, starting off with the thing that's currently live right now, and that is the Thanksgiving special. This is going to run until the 4th of December, and we're kind of already almost done with this. I believe the last people that are going up right now are Hassan and BB, and I'm personally giving a little bit of thought of going to BB myself, so you might see like a BB summer summoning video go up on one of these days as like a double upload or something. But if you've like summoned on this, you've probably already summoned going for like Ereshkigal or like Nero Caster, or maybe you're one of those guys that wanted to go for Benny Enma. If you've already summoned on this, you've probably already done your summons. We also have the second banner for High-End Kyo that is also live. That's going to be going until the 11th. And I think this combined with the recently announced Interlude Campaign 15 are going to be the two things that are supposed to tide us over until Christmas. So again, I've kind of already done the video on Ibuki. She's really good. You could summon for her if you want, but these are just things that are kind of already ongoing and they're going to kind of carry us for the first 2 weeks. But this is kind of like the first new thing that's actually coming to the NA version of the game. Now, unless you like really have a lot of these characters, it's not a huge deal for you. At least you know, my man Bartholomew down here gives you some Saint Quartz. He's a free-to-play servant. Everybody can at least do that. Same thing with Paris. But if you have Li Xuan and Estrella, they're actually going to be getting an upgrade. Now, I've already kind of memed this a little bit when I did a video on Li Xuan, like I think it was a couple of months ago. It was literally like, they don't change anything with this NP. I don't know why. Literally nothing changes at all, right? They're like, hey, he's got a 100% chance to insta-kill. Look at that. Boom. 150%. It's like, how about we, I don't know, give him like extra defense down or something along those lines? But they don't do anything like that. They're like, look, we gave him more insta-kill and more damage. What more do you want? And I'm like, well, yeah, Li Xuan is like fine. No, he's really good as just like a one-turn nuke, but can we give him like, I don't know, like maybe he gets an arts buff that's like 20% for 3 turns, just some longevity, like throw the boy a bone. I know that gives him more damage as well, and he doesn't need more damage, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, maybe he refunds 20% NP on his NP. That might be a little bit broken, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted them to give him a little bit more than just this. Thankfully, though, Estrella's is really insane. They give her Pierce Invincibility, which is super dummy nice. This makes Estrella even better as a boss killing servant, because if you don't know, She just has like this weird niche of being an art servant that just happens to also be able to drop stars, which is not exactly a common thing. Most art servants are going to be reliant on like 2030 or having a support that's specifically around them designed to drop stars for them, or they might just have like a specific one like star bomb skill, right? It's very like rare for like an art servant to be like not only like the dedicated looper person, but also the person that can gen stars. But Estrella can do that, right? Because she's bombing like 20 stars every time she fires her NP. And, you know, Art Servant, hello, she's going to be like refunding her NP all over the place. And they're like, what if it was even easier for Estrella to just obliterate her enemies? So they just gave her Pierce Invincibility. So if the enemy's got dodge, invincibility, anything of that sort, she's just going to pierce right through them. So if you have Estrella, you're absolutely eating. And this is going to be coming very, very soon on the NA version of the game. It actually might be in the game right now if, you know, by the time this video is going up. So if you have Estrella, you're eating. If you have any of these other servants, you're absolutely eating, getting some Saint Cords for doing those interludes. And then also that's, you know, giving you more interludes towards those missions where every 10 interludes, you get 10 Saint Cords. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to Muramasa, you know, kind of rubbing their hands together for New Year's, literally like a month away. You know, that boy's coming. He's just a month away. So you kind of get it ready for that. But the main thing this month that I think everybody's going to be looking forward to is the Lotto event that should be coming. I'm imagining after, you know, Ibuki's banner goes away and after we get the Interlude campaign, like maybe about a week after that, they'll probably go ahead and drop this. And this is just a good event in general. Santa Karna's a very, very strong free-to-play servant. If you need a really good single target quick saber that also can kind of double as like your buster crit guy at the same time, he's your man. He's just a generic, really good guy. When I say generic, I know some people get offended. They're like, oh, what do you mean he's generic? It's like, well, I just mean that he just does a lot of just general good stuff, and that just makes him a good servant. Like, he's not doing anything like super crazy. He's not like, I'm gonna do this 250% crit on an enemy, but I can only do that once or something. It's like, no, he's just like a good steady servant that like if you just need a solid DPS, he's gonna be your guy. It also brings a pretty decent banner with Vitra. Now, I know I've been really hard on Vitra, and if you come out to my streams for like the last, 2 years that I've been using her, I've had a very like, I don't know, maybe negative disposition towards her, but she's not bad. It's just, let me show you. This third skill really annoys me and the way that it's built. Everything else is absolutely fine. This is the thing that annoys me, is that she has an NP damage buff that's really good to help her do like good consistent damage, but it only lasts one time. That would not be a problem if it wasn't also tied to this. You want to use this NP gauge every turn to kind of help her out with getting those consistent farms, right? And helping her get that little bit of extra NP that she might need at like NP1 or something. At higher NP copies, it's probably not as much of a problem, but for lower NP copies, it could be really annoying that you have to pop this on turn 1 to kind of guarantee that you're getting that little bit of extra NP that she might need, but then you sacrifice a lot of her damage because you burn this on the first turn. But she's not like a terrible servant. It's not like Vitra's the worst servant I've ever seen in my entire life or something like that. She's definitely solid, and you can get some decent use out of her, especially with like the anti-divine buff and everything like that. But here's the speculation that I want to talk about. Here's the little bit of like, all right, here's my little prediction that I think we're going to be getting going forward. So we get this second banner here. Like, you get Karna, Arjuna, Parvati. The thing that I want to kind of speculate on is if Arjuna Altar is going to be coming back for this, because we know Lasengel is a little more greedy than DW was, right? And DW is kind of like holding on to Arjuna Altar for like that like student council president costume that they gave him recently. Like, that's what they were holding him out for, and they were really trying to hold him back to kind of keep his value really high. But I mean, DW's out here, not DW, but Lasengel's out here bringing like Morgan back every like 2 seconds, right? So I'm thinking that they might bring Arjuna Altar back without spoiling anything. He is like kind of important to the event, right? Because it does all center around like Vitra over here. So it's like very Indian focused, and he does like make an appearance. And I wonder if they're going to use that maybe as an excuse to give him a banner, because we know that Lasengel loves to throw bonus banners at us. You know, I'm not going to be surprised if we get some bonus like Interlude campaign where maybe they bring like Romulus back or something. Probably not, because Romulus is already going to be getting a raid up like early next year with the Caesar not battlefield, but the Grail Live thing. Sorry, I've been playing way too much Dokkan lately, but we're going to be getting a Romulus like raid up very soon, you know, relatively. So they might not bring him back. Maybe they'll put like Dioscuri or something on raid up. but I'm thinking that they might like bring him back as like the big limited servant and like the last little bit of bait before Muramasa hits, because remember on the 1st, Muramasa is going to drop with like Super Orion and like Made Alter even. Like it's not just Muramasa who comes back, it's like Super Orion comes back, and then the other servants on the banner are also really hyped. I keep saying Made Alter in all the videos because I'm low-key really hyped and I kind of want to go for her, but that banner is actually not bad. There's a lot of like really good servants on that banner. So I'm speculating that they might throw him out there because he's in the event. They might chuck him out there and try to use him as like the last little bit of limited bait before Muramasa comes out. But I'd love to hear guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I might run a poll on the community tab actually when I throw this video up to kind of see if, you know, where people are standing in the community, because I don't know if I'm like alone on that one, right? Because I think this is something that could legitimately happen. But that is pretty much all of the events and all the stuff you can be expecting to come for the month of December. It's really going to be kind of like a nice chill month aside from like the lotto, kind of depending on how hard you go on this lotto, but everything else is going to just be like, you know, play 5.5, do your interludes, and then, you know, play the Christmas event, and maybe they'll throw like the download campaign in here. I didn't mention it because that's kind of still in limbo. If they do throw the download campaign in here somewhere, that's this one right here, this Murasaki banner that's kind of just floating out and we have no idea where it is. It's kind of like a similar situation to Oku up here, where like Oku was supposed to come out like here, but it ended up coming out like after the anniversary, which is really strange. It might be just in a similar limbo space like that. Maybe instead of doing the Arjuna Altar banner, they just bump this down like right in between this, right? Like they do the interlude campaign, and then instead of dropping like a Dio Scurry banner because they have an interlude, they drop the download campaign, right? And they bring Murasaki back, then they lead into this, and then maybe they don't do the Arjuna Altar banner. A couple of things they can do, so that like might be the only curveballs they throw, is throwing this in there and maybe throwing in an Arjuna Altar right up. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day, and man, it is good to be back.